Sarah, I think you're the only one that actually managed to get an Xbox. You want to just go over your experience with that?
Yeah, so setting it up was some of the easiest I fucking use my phone to set up my Xbox.
Wait,
I
really?
legitimately, yeah, so if you have the Xbox app on your phone, all you have to do is as soon as you boot up the console, a screen comes up that says, "Would you like to use your phone to do the setup process?"
Oh yeah, I did.
And you type in the code. PS5. Yeah, you type in the code that's on your console using the app, and I was able to set up my entire console, even connecting it to the Wi-Fi via my phone. I
was like, because I've established this before when we were not live, but I'm just kind of dumb and I'm really not up to date with I figure when you say set up console, you mean you plug it in and you turn it on. Do you mean like attaching all of your account information, stuff like that, and okay?
Yep.
So then that makes sense. Okay, so then that is
completely
really cool.
Using the phone. Yes, the only time I had to
type anything in on the actual console, just boop boop boop,
yes.
and then it's all
as
if it was your old system.
Yep. And the only time I had to turn on the controller was to set up the console and to update the controller. But as soon as that was done, it booted me in. I had my Xbox Live handle on there. I said to re-download all of the games that I was currently playing. I did have a bit of a download issue the first day. The servers were running so slow that nothing could download. And
was
I found
it
out
the
hard
servers
way.
Or your internet? Or a bit of both?
I think it's a bit of both, because I found out the hard way that if you have the Xbox Series X on the same Wi-Fi channel as another console, shit ain't gonna work. Because I was trying to play Siege at the same time that everything was downloading, nothing downloaded.
Oh, wow. And this was before you discovered the might of the Ethernet cord?
Yeah, before I discovered the might of the Ethernet cable. I plugged in the
Never
Ethernet cable.
The might of the Ethernet cable.
Yeah, I plugged in the Ethernet cable and was able to download everything.
Yeah, we can get to that later if you want.
I played second with an Ethernet cable. Sorry, go on.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
There's a reason.
I was able to download everything. Siege also ran perfectly well. Got one for my PlayStation 4 as well. Plugged in. We're all good. But yeah, so I've only been able to play Tetris, Gears Tactics, Gears 4, and Devil May Cry. For Devil May Cry, I just did the Virgil stuff because I am a terrible person who's beaten that game like 20 times. So I was like, I want to do all the Virgil stuff. And I was able to beat that within 2 days. It was very short. A lot of fun, though. The game's fucking beautiful. Oh, my God.
I remember you were
on most of the Virgil stuff. I played most of the Virgil stuff, and I messed around with Nero, too. And, the adaptive triggers on the PS5 controller for Nero are, fucking crazy.
Yeah, I will say the game looks beautiful on the X.
You feel the whole controller, vibrate as soon as you rev. And when you do a charge shot and shakes the whole controller as soon as it fires, it's really, really cool.
Yeah,
I can't wait until we dive into that a bit more.
Yeah.
On the Xbox, it looks beautiful. It runs at 60 FPS. I am running it at 4K, so it's probably the best that game has ever looked.
A quick note, and this is actually disappointing for me and probably for Mesa as well, because I know you're a performance fiend like I am. Apparently the performance mode isn't that great. It very rarely hits 120, and it just jumps around wildly. So it's actually a bit more of a stuttery experience, just locking it at 60 with ray tracing. So that's a little disappointing for me.
So when I booted up DMC5, a screen popped up asking if I wanted to run it in ray tracing performance or ray tracing graphical, and it even said if you run it at ray tracing performance, the game will hitch. It said something along those lines. It says, frame rate won't stay steady if you play it at this, but I played it on ray tracing game mode, and I was able to run it at 60 FPS with the ray tracing on, and it looks really pretty.
Yeah. So on that similar note, though, I did want to bounce a little bit to Spider-Man Miles Morales. Did a similar thing as soon as I started the game. It asked me if I wanted to play him 30 frames per second. With ray tracing and all of that stuff, which I decided to do that because it says that or you can play in 60 frames per second 4K, but you don't have the ray tracing, you don't have like the extra graphical
bells and whistles.
Bells and whistles. So I'm like, no, I want like a cinematic experience. So I'm gonna do 30 frames per second. So
for what it's worth, it is really weird that the Digital Foundry guys, the guys who analyze like all the tech and performance and whatnot, and they're usually always in favor of performance, like over graphical bells and whistles. But this is actually one where they said you should probably just play in fidelity mode. And I'm kind of going back and forth between the two. I'm probably going to stick with performance. But yeah, it's really weird.
Okay, so first of all, here's the controller. I forgot I had it like right next to me. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Whoa. It still uses fucking batteries because we're in a god-given year of 2020.
I prefer that. By the way. I prefer that. Actually, I prefer, especially as I've had issues charging my DualSense. I wish the DualSense had batteries. Sorry, go on.
Do you think Microsoft has a deal with battery companies?
Most likely.
I know Alan Wake does.
So a couple other quick things. I did start Gears Tactics. The game actually read my PC save as soon as I booted it up, which was a lot of fun. And very interestingly, when I booted up Gears Tactics, it was the only option was, do you want to play in 30 FPS or 60 FPS? Didn't say anything else. So I popped it to 60. Game looks fucking gorgeous. I'm not a big tactical person, but I'm a huge Gears person, so I'm having a blast with it. Played Tetris Effect. Me and a really good friend of mine co-opted part of Tetris Effect. Oh my god, co-op is a fucking blast. Please play Tetris Effect.
I know that
so much fun.
I know that you said that you were having a lot of, and this kind of stems from the internet stuff, but it doesn't seem like you had a good first day with your Xbox just because everything was so slow.
Just because it was going so slow. And I was just like, I just having a bad day to like begin with. The Rainbow Six Siege servers were kind of fucked too. So like I couldn't even play that. So I was just having like a really bad day. And me and my best friend are co-oping the Gears of War series, and we waited to do Gears 4 on the Series X. Oh my god, I legitimately cannot put words to how fucking beautiful Gears 4 is. And just heads up, it doesn't have Series X boost. It just has the base boost that Series X gives to old Xbox games. Oh my god, Gears 4 looks like a brand new game. Like, it looks fucking gorgeous. And it runs a lot better. Like, it's just nuts.
That's something that Jose brought up on his Twitter that I really agreed with, which is exciting news, to say the least, is that there's a lot of these old games that when they came out, I guess you could say they were sort of ahead of their time, and they had a lot of issues graphically. But now that these next generation consoles exist, they're breathing new life into old games.
So Gears 4 looked amazing to begin with. I might be a little bit biased, but Gears 4 looked amazing to begin with. But just the base upgrade that the Series X gives to it, the character models look much more sharper. The fire physics are fucking insane. Like, I've not tested Gears 5 yet, and that got an honest to God Series X upgrade. I'm freaking out to finally play Gears 5 on it, because it's gonna look fucking gorgeous the whole time. And to me, the Gears series has like always pushed the Xbox to what graphics can look like on it. And just seeing the base upgrade given to 4, which legitimately makes it look like a brand new game. I am just like literally shaking at how excited I am to see 5. Because 5, to me, pushed the Xbox One X to its limits. And I have my, hold on, really quick. Oh god, it's heavy. Give me 1 second. Like, really quick.
It's heavy. What is it?
Like, this is what I played on.
Oh,
this
nice.
Gears 5 on. This is my baby. This is my child. I'm never getting rid of this.
There's a Gears of War logo on it.
This is it's actually in it.
It's in it?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, that's dope.
So this is what I played Gears 5 on to begin with, and it looked beautiful on the Series X. My wrist hurts. Ow. But like, I just literally shaking to see how it looks on the Series X just from the base upgrade that Gears 4 got.
Yeah. Question for you, Jose. Because you had said that the Series X, that people should pick up Silent Hill Downpour for the Series X because it's breathing new life.
I want to make a slight correction. I have not played Downpour, so I cannot attest to the quality. I believe what I did was I quote tweeted Tom Hewlett, one of the old producers. Yeah.
Oh, Tom.
Poorly shit on Tom Hewlett. Tom Hewlett did nothing wrong.
It's a bad rap.
Yeah.
Made some questionable choices, but
can't wait to hear that
it's
Korn
alright.
soundtrack. And
there's only so much you can do when
Korn soundtrack.
Yes, the credit song, the Korn credit song.
Okay.
Y'all
brought it up.
There's only so much you can do when higher up corporate people are dictating decisions that you would not do. You kind of just have to, do your job, roll with it, and that's a shitty position that he was put in.
On the plus side, we might be getting a Silent Hill reveal at the Game Awards this year.
We'll
so,
I'm sorry. I just want to go back to what Corey was saying
about Silent Hill.
I can't wait to be disappointed about Silent Hill. And
this could be a whole other podcast. Thank you, T-Man, for following.
Are we gonna have
what Corey said?
Are we gonna have side podcasts, like spin-off podcasts? One about Kingdom Hearts, one about Silent Hill.
Six people is chaos.
One more thing I want to say about the Series X, really, really fast, is just it's also a very heavy console. I'm having trouble holding this up. I can barely fucking lift my Series X, having to drop it on my table to set it down somewhere. It's a fucking monolith.
That's how you get
right. Going back to Corey's question, I will.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe Tom Hewlett was just
games on it too. I'm gonna test some older 360 stuff on it.
Yeah.
See what stuff
I'm
looks
excited.
like.
Let me know how those go.
no.
I want to hear Jose's answer because then I have a
Jose.
God damn it.
Jose, talk.
Well, you know what? I forgot. I have the power of mute. I'm running the stream.
Hell
Explain yourself, sir. What did you quote retweet?
Fuck, now don't try to remember.
My question.
So basically, there's a lot of performance issues and hitches with Silent Hill Downpour.
You can say
and
that
just with a more powerful hardware, you're able to bypass a lot of those hitches, a lot of the frame rate issues, fix the loading, and just inherently because of that more powerful technology, it makes it an infinitely more enjoyable experience. Game design issues still being there, but
also
new hardware can't bring you life.
Bypass those binary choice issues. I'll tell you that much. For free.
I mean, yeah,
Downpour's not as bad as Homecoming, at least.
Thank you.
Has that going for
but
it.
you'd think with a game all about water, it should have ray tracing.
What are you talking about?
Yes, let us ray tracing.
What are you talking about?
Let us add ray tracing in Silent Hill Downpour.
All right, getting slightly
to make a splash at that point.
All right, getting back on topic. We're gonna do.
Wait. I have an on-topic story though, in regards to Tom Hewlett.
That's not Tom Hewlett's not on topic.
But you brought it up.
No, Corey brought it up. We were talking about next gen. Sarah, 2 questions.
Damn it.
Is the user interface still exactly identical to the existing Xbox interface?
Yes, but it's a little bit more rounded. There's not many pointy edges anymore.
Rounded corners?
It's literally rounded corners. The really cool thing.
Those corners.
Yeah, the really dumb thing that I really like about it is you can put themes on your profiles now. So you have a background to your profile. There was a Destiny. There was Gears of War theme. There was
Can you still do the achievements as backgrounds?
On your base console itself, yes. On when you go to your profile, that's what you can put the theme on.
Okay.
So and I like dumb shit like that. I'm still someone who changes my avatar monthly, so I'm one of those people. Oh yeah, I enjoy this. This is.
It's also because I got a chance to feel the Xbox Series X controller because my roommate is getting one, and the controller came in earlier this week, and it's actually we compared every little thing about the controller and how it feels and the layout of it. It's actually lighter than the Xbox One controller, and it's also slightly thinner too.
Here,
Sarah, if you want to go ahead and put those right up to the camera.
Yeah, it's slightly smaller than the Xbox One controller.
Smaller.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Once again, I have Gears of War shit, but again,
makes sense.
Sarah, if you want,
I love the D-pad because the D-pad is a full circle now, and you can do diagonal directions. So
yes, it is.
Sarah, what are your preferences, or like what are the pros and cons between the two?
Between the controllers.
Mm-hmm.
So this one definitely feels a bit lighter to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I don't know if it's the grips on it or what it is, but I've been using this one for like a super long time. I actually stopped using my Elite controller and I started using this one when I was on my normal base at Xbox One X because I just think it felt better. But with this one, I would say the D-pad feels a lot better. Like for me, controllers don't really matter as long as my tiny, tiny hands can like actually use it, which my hands can actually use this, so I'm all for it. I think the share button's kind of in a spot. Like it stopped me from like taking really cool screenshots during battles when I was in DMC5 just because I didn't want to like lose sight of what I was doing instead of being able to like quickly like go from this to hitting like that. So it felt a little bit funky, but I will say just by holding it and the triggers definitely feel a little bit better than on the original. But keep in mind, my Gears controller was the upgraded base Xbox One X controller. This is one of the newer models of it. So I would say while they feel the same, I personally like the grips on this a lot. I think the grips help me, especially someone that has my sweaty hands. The grips feel a lot better. But also I just think just everything feels more like, and it's gonna sound really fucking cheesy, so bear with me. Everything just feels a lot more next gen, kind of. Like it's like the buttons feel a lot better. Hitting them feels a lot faster, and especially more like responsive. This is probably the most responsive.
Oh no, what have I started?
Controller.
Everyone has to do it now. Everybody do.
I'll dab under this desk. Is what I'll do.
This is probably the most responsive controller that I'm used. Keep in mind, I haven't touched the PlayStation 5 controller yet, but this one is extremely responsive, especially during something like DMC5 where you have to be.
I think it's also worth noting that the Series X and Series S are fully backwards compatible with every single Xbox One accessory, including the controller. So that's a damn plus.
I was able to play DMC5 using my wired headphones, which are not made for like next gen consoles, because DMC5 had 3D audio, and I was
able to do the same thing with.
So I was able to actually like plug it in and play it with 3D audio, which 3D audio is nuts, by the way, because it let me know when like demons were like pining me and I couldn't see them. But
3D audio.
It's really good in Demon Souls too.
But like,
I really should try it with Demon Souls then.
Well, I mean, I wish they made custom versions of these, kind of like how they have this one, because I love this controller a lot.
I'd give it time.
And it's, again, I'm just a Gears head.
That was the whole big thing was for Microsoft, right? They're gotta bring that back for the new generation.
Yeah,
I would give it time. Give it a couple months.
The new way.
Back up again, so people.
I have a quick question about like the D-pad on the Xbox controller, because this is a very like FGC specific issue, right? So one of the problems on the PS4 pad and on the PS3 pad too is sometimes when you're holding back or if you're holding down, one of the issues is if you're holding at the wrong angle, like if you're pressing back, but your thumb is a little bit too downwards on the back button, sometimes you'll be holding down and back at the same time instead of just back. Is that an issue that you could see happening on the D-pad on the Xbox at all?
I mean, just hitting it right now, because keep in mind, I play my fighting games on a PlayStation controller. Keep in mind, like, so I'm clicking it right now, and it doesn't appear to be hitting the like weird like upper left and upper down buttons when I'm doing it normally. I will say that this one is more like the Elite controller one, because I do have an Elite controller. If you want me to bring that over, I can bring that over too.
I was gonna bring that up actually. It seems like they were carrying over stuff that they learned with the Elite, but making it more accessible.
Oh yeah, it definitely
it behind like $100-something.
There's
I really hope they make an Elite like esque thing for the DualShock for the DualSense, because I would totally spend $100 on a really fancy controller.
Ones right here. The only reason I have this on my Elite is because I lost my other one. I don't know where the like button thing is. But I will say the one thing I love about this is it's not as heavy as the Elite is, because fuck this controller, it's extremely heavy.
Yeah. Like, that's why I traded mine in. It just got uncomfortable.
Yeah, I stopped using this because mine actually had a defect in it, so I stopped using it.
Damn.
But yeah, like personally, this is some of the best controllers I've used. and I just playing the DMC on it. It felt fucking great. Like it felt responsive. But
your controller shouldn't break your wrists when you're playing.
Yeah, maybe I have little bitch baby hands, but I couldn't do it.
I'm into like the heavy controllers. My arcade stick's like 5 pounds. I really like it.
I have,
and maybe it's because I'm jacked and I'm so strong. But like I'm into it.
I'm so swole, man. I'm so swole.
I like my controllers like my ass, nice and heavy.
Huge.
I have wrist problems when it comes to certain things, so I greatly appreciate controller. Oh, fucking hell! I almost threw it. A controller that's light.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That doesn't make me feel like I'm like gonna. Even though so playing DMC, I did get like carpal tunnel like the first couple hours because Virgil can go fuck himself. Combos with him's very hard, so I was like getting like carpal tunnel. I had to like stop for like a while. But it's definitely lighter.
Some of that stuff. Yeah, you gotta press a lot of those buttons. Like he makes use of almost everything. Whereas like Nero, sometimes you're only like really pressing 2 or 3.
All right, you guys want to?
I will say I will re-answer this question after I get my PlayStation 5 in, and after I use that controller, I will re-answer that. So, but right now, this thing's really good. I like this thing. I just wish it wasn't fully black because of my once again sweaty hands. I got marks on this thing already. Which sucks.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah, I've gotten marks on this already, and I'm gonna point people to the comment I made last week. What the fuck?